All right, guys, welcome back to another BSL round of 8 game. This is game number 3 of a best of 5 between Dandy, our Peruvian Macro Terran, and Dewalt, an amazing Russian Protoss player. I think, Dewalt, even going into the series, I thought was favored a little bit, but, Dandy is a strong Macro Terran. If he gets going, it's pretty hard to beat, so we got to give him some chances, but we're in map 3, and it's Eclipse. I'm actually really surprised at the at the map order. Like, Dandy chose Butter, and then Dewalt chose Ascension, and then Dandy chose Eclipse. And those are the 3 best PvT maps. And then the last 2 maps are Goodnight and Metaverse. So it's a little bit surprising because this, like, Eclipse has an outrageously large Protoss versus Terran win rate. Incredibly imbalanced in that direction, the better players become. So we'll see if Dandy's able to do it. I posited in the Butter map that Dandy likes gasless expands just in general, so probably is pretty comfortable with getting his gas stolen. And you obviously get a ton of games on Eclipse, so I guess he's just comfortable with it. I hope that he can make something happen here against Dewalt, because I think it is going to be a tough game. All right, the probe comes up and actually blocks the barracks. Very, very annoying to have to deal with. Dandy does get it down, though, and you have to come over and defend against this probe. Looks like the probe is going to run up to try to take the gas, but actually grabs his own gas. Okay, now this can be a little bit scary to do if they have a proxy gateway out there. But, he doesn't, so I guess Dandy's good. This is getting a little bit annoying, though, because now suddenly you want to scout, you have to attack the probe so it stays away from your SCVs, and you're missing mining time here, and, to get gas, if you optimize perfectly, it's actually a little bit difficult to get your second depot, produce a marine, and have your factory down on time. But when you throw in, he can't scout here, for instance, is very painful. Look at this. Look at the money right now. 128 and 100. That's when you want to put your factor down, is when you have 100 gas. Doesn't have the money for it. We don't have a second depot. If a Zealot was walking into his base right now, he'd be in terrible shape. So sending this SCV across. No second depot as of yet. I'm definitely nervous here for Dandy. Here comes the Zealot. A second Marine is coming. He must not realize. Okay, he starts the second depot. He's just skipping, a lot of SCVs here. So you see he's actually getting behind on workers. Now, if you block the Zealot perfectly, I guess it's okay. We'll see how he does, but he's actually skipping so many workers here. Oh, God, the units get right up on top of him. Already 2 hits from the Zealot onto these 3 Marines. Normally, 3 Marines can just beat a Zealot. Absolutely not this time. Oh, okay, good pull away on that SCV. Comes out to fight the Zealot once again. Oh, the SCV does get pulled back nicely. All right, very good micro there from Dandy. Doesn't get through the micro hole quite quickly enough. Now 2 Zealots are out, trying to get that factory going here once again. Okay, Vulture gets started. Obviously, the Vulture will stop the rush dead in its tracks. Meantime, Dandy is blocking the command center, so very good move there with the offensive engineering bay. And now, finally, we're going to see these Zealots cleaned up. Another one is coming up, but of course, a Vulture will solo that easily. He might actually set it up to try to get the Marines. No, he sends it to the side. Okay, so a little bit safer there. Vulture going to be sent out. Some decent scouting. All right. The game should settle here. And at the end of it, the SCV count against the probe count is not as bad as it could be. So yeah, cheers to the micro there, for sure. It's only 1 probe advantage. We'll see when he gets his command center going. Gonna go for a tank. This might end up being an FD Terran push. See if he starts mines up or not. Looks like Dandy wants to get his command center going. Okay, you know what? This is actually not looking too bad. He's getting great scouting. He sees that there's, no robo. He sees that, and in fact, he's even scouting around with the Vulture just to be doubly safe. But he saw, range. He didn't see any DT tech. He sees enough pylons that he knows that they're all here. And now he sees the Nexus. So that is full information. And honestly, if he just goes... Okay, he is going to go Mines. I was going to say, though, if he just goes Siege, that's like perfect defense, and he's actually in very, very good shape. Honestly, this game, he could probably just go second factory as well. I guess there's actually a decent range of what he can do here. I'm not sure what the mines are meant to do. I think what he's doing here is an older play where you go, like, you go bunker expand, and then you go, like, 2 tanks, some marines, and rally vultures, and you just push the goons back and lay some mines in good locations. And it's a very flexible, older strategy. Sometimes you can actually catch Protoss off guard and pick off a couple units as well. All right, Robo is coming up. This Vulture did get chased away at very low health. Ooh, Dewalt just runs into the mine there. The Vulture is flipped around, lays a mine here in the center. A couple more Dragoons coming up to try to catch it. Looks like they will. It's not going to get another mine off, unfortunately, but that's a decent mine right there. Oh, he only got the mine upgrade for that one Vulture because he's still making tanks. A little bit surprising, I think. All right, the Dragoon's going to push up here to just kind of zone everything out so Dewalt can take his third base. In the meantime, Dandy over here has his engineering bay. Armory upgrading already as well. Getting that second factory. Just an anti-Dark Templar turret right here. No anti-Reaver or anything like that. Of course, we can see that it is just observers coming out of Dewalt as he takes his third base. Now, where does Dandy want to go from here? Pops out another Vulture to lay some mines. But his build isn't really optimized in any one direction. Okay, with the second gas coming up, it really kind of looks like it'll end up being a third base build. Like maybe he goes Starport, third factory, command center. But if Dewalt macros up really quickly from this spot, could be a little bit tough actually pushing out and taking that third as well. All right, a couple more defensive turrets coming up here from Dandy. Vulture comes up. We'll pick off this probe at the third base, but not able to do much more than that. Those 2 zoning out Dragoons do a good job of catching it before it can lay any mines down, which is always very nice. Observer coming across the map to see what it can see. Let's turn off the vision there and see what he gets intel-wise. There are a couple turrets, one here and one up here. Okay, sees that turret. Okay, spinning machine shop. Sees an additional factory going down. He already knows about the factory over here. There's a bug when you look at vision from stuff. It doesn't show all the stuff it already saw. Okay. So he sees it's going into 4-fact, and if he had a command center, it would have to be here. Oops. So Dewalt has very good intel. It looks like Dandy wants to go for an attack. But even highly optimized 4-fact builds generally get held on Eclipse. It's a very, very hard map to do timing attacks on. And there's a couple reasons. First off, you have to fight up 2 hills, right here and here. And if you go this way, which is actually much easier to push, the counterattack from Protoss goes much more quickly in the close path. So, like, if you're here and you start pushing and Protoss realizes, they can attack move up here and they will hit your natural before you hit anything of theirs. So, yeah, it's a tough map for a move like this. Now, if Dandy actually... Okay, he's going 5th factory. I was going to say, he might go 4 factory and just push out and take a 3rd, but adding the 5th factory, there's no real build like that, unless you're getting 2-1 already. So, yeah, he lays a few mines there, loses a few vultures, unfortunately. I do think Dandy's going to try to attack. 42 SCVs against 53 probes, so he's not leaving himself a lot of outs. Another factory on the way. Another missile turret. Few missile turrets coming up. Wants to prevent any harassment coming in. Dewalt with that +1 attack coming. Citadel as well. Making quite a few units here is Dewalt getting up in supply. He's up like 25 army supply approximately right now. All right, Dandy getting ready for this push. We have 8 siege tanks. I don't like this. I don't think that this is going to end up working. Dewalt really looking ready. StarLeague has been started, as well as Temple Archives. Has this shuttle coming out to load up into Zealots. A few Vultures coming down the easier push path and laying a couple mines. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, he's getting some scouting intel, but he's losing a couple units. You got to be careful about that. Now, notice how Dewalt is taking the center here. This is what is so difficult. Like, Dewalt knows exactly what to do here. So if Dandy tries to push down this lane... Well, first off, if he tries to push this lane, it's high ground advantage for Dewalt, right? So that's an issue. Now, this is a nice move. And in fact, Dewalt doesn't have much back here, so he does have to bring back some more Dragoons. These Zealots can be picked off. Dandy might get a bit of harassment damage done. A little bit of a mistake here from Dewalt, it looks like. He does have cannons. A few, at least. Ooh, good mines right there. So not too much damage will be dealt, but definitely some. Picks off a few probes here and there, a few Zealots here and there as well. But even with this happening, I think Dewalt's still in a decent position. So here we go. Here comes that first push. Tries to use the Goliaths on that shuttle. Does pull the shuttle back. Now look at that. Dewalt pulling back against Dandy's push. Dandy unsieges. And look at this. A bigger arc is going to be formed now. He's getting these units up here after dealing with those Vultures. And now Dandy is going to go for an attack down the big flat lane. And this is very normal for timing attacks on this map, but that means Dewalt can just do a counterattack. His Observer sees absolutely everything, runs up here. Ooh, runs into a mine there. And here come the tanks back. Now, Dewalt actually walked very far, so he's going to have to take the fight, but he might have enough units on this flat ground. And Zealot legs are done. Just going to bomb out on top of these siege tanks. Huge concave, and that is honestly that. Dandy is super dead, having lost that army. He has no backup strategy whatsoever. He has no good upgrades, no third command center. He has no siege tanks, or 2 siege tanks right now total. Really nothing going on for him. And Dewalt looks like he has just manhandled Dandy here. Some well-played games. And yeah, it's a best of 5. So, I mean, this should be it. This should be the end. Dandy going to be eliminated in the round of 8, unfortunately. But Dewalt, definitely one of the favorites. A finalist from last season, will advance.